Okay, all right, good. Come on down, our last prospectors here. Terrific. Okay, folks. So, you come looking for gold, have you? Yeah. Okay, well, you come to the right place, and I'm your guide. My name is Riffles, that's right. See, I came out here in 1898 looking to make my fortune just like a lot of other fellers coming from all over the world. And I got to Skagway and I got all my goods together, bought all my food and my supplies. And from there, I packed up and over the Chilkoot Pass, where then I get down and I came to Bennett Lake. And at Bennett Lake, hunkered down and made myself a boat, chopped down some trees, built a raft. And when the ice thawed, I floated down the river 500 miles till I got to Dawson City. Not an easy trip, folks. And when I got to Dawson City, I gotta tell you, a little disappointing. No more claims were left. That's right. There was nothing left for me to have a claim on. So I went to work for some other fellows that had got there before me that had some claims, and I became a pretty good gold panner. That's right, an expert gold panner. And that's why I'm here today, to show you folks how to pan for gold. And that's what we're gonna do. Now, you just pay attention to what I'm showing you here. I guarantee you're gonna find gold. Just follow what old Riffles tells you. Now the first thing that's going to happen, folks, you're all going to get a pan of dirt just like this. Now I know that doesn't sound too exciting, but that's no ordinary dirt. That's pay dirt, and it's called pay dirt because it's got gold inside. And I'm going to show you how to separate the gold from everything else in there. So, first thing you want to do when you get that pan of dirt, put it in the water and start shaking. You want to shake real good, folks. If it helps, you can go shake, 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 shake that gold pan, shake that gold pan. That's right, you want to shake real heavy. See, folks, we're going to use the weight of the gold and only the weight of the gold to separate it from everything else in there. See, gold is 19 times heavier than water, and it's 7 times heavier than anything else in that pan. So if I'm shaking it, where's all that gold going to go?
To the bottom.
That's right, it's going to go right to the bottom. Now the other thing you want to do when you're shaking this, you want to hold it at an angle. Notice how I'm tipping my pan forward and I got everything at an angle here. Why am I doing that? You see, if you shake like this, well, that gold's going to go to the bottom, but it's going to be all over the place. You're not going to know where it's at. Now if I tip it like this at an angle, well, everything's going to go down into the corner. If you're wondering where that corner on a round pan is, well, it's right there. That's the corner on a round pan. That's right. Now that's what we call the Happy Valley. That's where all our gold's going to go. So be sure to shake it down there. Then we know exactly where it's going to be, and we'll know where to go for it when we need to get it. So that's the first thing. You'll be shaking. Now, step number 2, folks. The next thing we're going to do is, again, we got that heavy gold at the bottom. How do we get to it? We got all that gravel covering it up. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to dunk it in the water and wash away all this light stuff that's on top to get down to our gold. So notice, I'm going to dunk it in the water, and when I pull back, a little bit of a wave goes over there and just kind of washes off this stuff on top. Our gold's on the bottom, remember. And then in between, give it another shake. That's right, you want to give another shake and dunk and shake. That's right, make sure that that gold stays at the bottom. We call that a safety shake. Make sure that that gold stays in the corner. And then you want to dunk again. Now folks, we're dunking and we're shaking, but those are 2 separate things. You don't want to dunk and shake at the same time. No, sir, Bob, that's dangerous. You'll shake everything right out of there. So remember, if you're dunking, you're not shaking. And if you're shaking,
You're not dunking.
that's right. Okay. Now, so we're going to dunk some more and get this out. And I got to tell you, folks, this dunking, you know, shaking's one thing, but dunking, that's a whole other animal. It looks easy when old Riffles does it, but when you get out there, believe me, this is going to be scary. It's going to be scary. You're going to see all kinds of stuff in there when you're dunking that looks like gold, and you haven't ever seen how that gold acts, how it's really going to stay down there, and it's hard to believe that you're not losing your gold when you're doing this. Just notice, pushing back and forth. But believe me, you get a little nervous, give it another shake. That gold's going to stay there. Okay, and then dunk again. Now folks, here we go. We're getting down to just a little bit of dirt there. You got any big rocks, just chuck them out. No problem. And see, we're getting down real quick. We're getting down to just a little bit of dirt in there. You see something in there. Well, that's a good sign. All right. Okay, folks, this is it. Now we're gonna, this next step, this is it. This, we're gonna find out if we got any gold in here. Now this next step is called the swirl. Now before we do the swirl in the pan, it's really important, folks, to limber up and do some swirling. That's right, you gotta swirl. This swirl here is directly proportionate to the amount of gold you're gonna find. So come on, see this guy, he's swirling. Come on, folks, I know it's early, but there we go. We got some folks. There we go. These folks over here are gonna find some gold. That's right. Over here, I'm not so sure. I don't know.
Liable to break something.
Okay, folks, let me show you how it's done in the pan. All right, now up until now, you'll notice that gold, that dirt's been at the bottom of our pan. Now, what you want to do when you're down to just a little bit of dirt, tilt that pan up towards you. So now, the dirt will be at the top, and the water's going to be at the bottom. But then I'm just going to swirl over this. I'm going to have to do this probably a couple times so everyone can see it. Just swirl over that and wash down what's up on top down to the bottom. Look what we got there. Woo! This is what we call a eureka moment. Look at all that gold in there. Yeah, pretty nice, huh? Woohoo! Now you'd never believe there'd be so much gold sitting underneath that little bit of dirt there. That's the way gold is. It hides real good. I got plenty of folks out there paying gold, and they come over and they say, I don't got anything left. And they got just a little bit of dirt left. You hear all the miles over here. That's right, lots of gold. A little bit dirt in there, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Look at all that. Nice big pile of gold. Now, I can tell by your reactions, I think we all agree that's a pretty good pan, right? Yeah. See, that's why this is called a demonstration pan. Your results will vary. Okay, next thing. Now, once we found that gold, how do we get it out of there? Well, what you want to do, first thing you want, just pour the water out of your pan. As soon as you find that gold, pour the water out of your pan and place your pan there on the counter. Next thing is, you're going to notice, you got here something that looks like a film canister, okay? For those of you who remember what a film canister is. Okay, now this is your pulp. This is where you're going to keep all your gold, folks. So keep it in the hole there. Otherwise, you put it on the counter, it gets knocked over, and got some sad faces. So keep it in the hole there. Next thing you're going to see, you got a towel. Dry your fingers on that towel. And when you got a dry finger, just press it onto the gold. And when you do that, boom, that's it. Your gold's going to stick to your finger just like it sticks to all ripples. And then just tap it right inside to the pulp. Now, once you got all your gold, folks, close this up real tight. That's right, otherwise, you know, you don't want to lose anything here. And from here, we're going to send you off to the assayers where they're going to weigh your gold for you and tell you how much it's worth. Okay, folks? Yeah. First we're gonna weigh you with your poke. See? Without it. We'll figure it out. You know, nobody wants to get on a scale once when they're on a cruise, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick review. Remember, folks, first thing, put some water in your pan and shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake that gold pan and shake it right down into the corner. Step number 2, dunk. Be brave, folks. Dunk and get rid of some of that gravel right on top over. You get a little nervous, give it another shake. Step number 3, swirl. For those of you that didn't get a good look at it, maybe just real lightly. You want to do that real light. Or just wash what's up on top down to the bottom and reveal your gold. Once you found your gold, pour the water out of your pan, place it on the counter, dry your fingers, and collect your riches. Now, folks, one more thing before I send you down to find your fortune. And that is, I know you folks come here to Skagway. You got a lot of choices. You get off the boats and you got a lot of choices here in Skagway. There are a lot of things to do. And you chose to spend your time with us here at Alaska 360. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you being here. We hope you have a great time. And most importantly, I hope you all find lots and lots of gold.
All right.
Are you ready? Thank you.
Who's on up? Oh, okay.
We actually have quite a few kids in this group as well. We can bring all the kids up to the very front just to make sure they can see.
see? You okay? Can y'all see okay? I can move up if you want. I guess I don't speak in that language. Okay.
And it looks like I actually still have a big open space to the right there. Yeah, I can have you guys maybe shove over just so the folks coming in. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and I think that's about all of us. So as the last of us trickle in, I'm just going to be right back and grab our musher. I'm going to give her a little introduction here. This morning you folks are all going to be speaking with Kaci Murringer. And Kaci has literally been manning dog sleds since she was 7 years old. So she has quite a bit of experience under her belt. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaci Murringer.
Thanks, guys. Well, good morning. How are we doing today?
Good.
Good. Yeah, like Emerald was saying, my name is Kaci, and this past winter, I did finish qualifying for the Iditarod race, which allowed me to sign up for my very first Iditarod here in 2020. I'll make my rookie run to Nome with my team. Part of my team, they actually are here with me today, so you guys get a chance to meet them here in a little bit. The rest, they're just back home in Willow, Alaska. In Willow, we train out of there just because I'm here in Skagway. There's not enough trails here, there's not enough snow. So we'll drive home at the end of the season and begin that on October 1st. But in the fall, though, you know, there's not any snow yet, or there's not enough snow. So to start off with, we'll use an ATV, like a four-wheeler, to stimulate our dog sled. Once we have that snow, hopefully by November, I can switch over to the dog sled right here in front of me. This is the modern day design. How a sled works, though, is I'll stand right here on the runners, and just like I'm on a pair of skis, I can then steer it with my body weight. I also have this back section right here. It's called a tail dragger. Besides standing, this allows me the option to sit down. However, though, I'm not just sitting here, you know, getting all nice and cozy while they do all the work. It's actually the exact opposite. I'll use this to help my team down the trail. To do that, I'll come inside my sled basket or my ski pole right here. If it's windy outside, I can also tuck right out of that, and it'll help my dogs along. I can also help the team by standing, then I'll kick and ski pole as well with them. If we come to a mountain or a hill climb though, I'll just place these, excuse me, I'll place that ski pole right back inside my sled. That way I can step off and help my dogs push it up the hill. Hill climbing though, it can get a little interesting for the musher. The reason I say that is these are the boots that I wear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were inspired by Gene Simmons himself, actually. I'm just kidding. They're not too bad though. Each one weighs in at about 2 pounds each, and they go very nicely with that suit beside me. So head to toe, our entire system, it weighs about 12 pounds. Our dogs, they'll also wear boots, only we call those booties. I have some right behind me, over on the back wall. There's even one on my dog sled right here. With these booties though, they're not designed to keep my dog's feet warm. I honestly don't worry about that. The reason is our dogs have very good circulation in their feet, and that's why they can live outside on the snow. What happens is as the dogs are running, their feet will heat up and even start to sweat. When those hot toes that hit the cold ground, snowballs will form in between their pads, and that's what these booties are meant for, prevent that from happening. Each one though is good for about 80 to 100 miles, so that means for the Iditarod next year, I'll need at least 1,200 booties, which is a lot right there, just all in itself. When you combine that though with your other food and gear for a 1,000-mile race, it will not all fit right here in your sled basket from the start. It's just too little for it all. What I'll do ahead of time is months before the race even starts, I'll make up my race drop bags. Those are right behind me with all the different checkpoint names on them. I'll take all those booties, my food and gear, divide it up, and as I head towards Nome, I'll stop at every single checkpoint to resupply along the way. In a checkpoint, once I have my drop eggs, I have a choice to make afterwards. I can rest the team there, or we can sign out and go camping down the trail. It'll just be based on where we're at in our run to rest schedule. But either way, no matter where we stop for a rest, one of the first things I'll do for them is actually take off their booties. Then I'll use this bale of straw right here. This straw, it's also provided to each team out there at every single checkpoint. With it, a musher will use it to make our dogs each their own bed, lay on top of out there, and they can just curl up on that and get some sleep. Next up, I'll reach inside of my sled basket, where I always carry my cooker. Our cooker, it is required gear by Iditarod in most sled dog races. It's used to melt snow into hot water for our dogs' meals. How it works though, is I'll start off by removing this pot and put it to the side for the time being. I don't need that quite yet. In the bottom right here, I have a burner where I can make a fire, and the key ingredient to that is 4 bottles of heat. It's ethyl alcohol. It's also a flammable liquid. So I'll dump all that in the bottom, take my match to light it on fire. With that flame going now, I can fill up my pot with snow, put that directly on top. So in about 45 minutes, this will give me 3 gallons of boiling water. As I'm working on that though, I'll also work on dog care. I'll take a look at their feet, give all their wrists a nice massage. When they've had that, I'll put a neoprene wrist strap on the dogs. Same with their shoulders. They'll also get a good rub down. And for those, I have these shoulder coats. What I love the most about these though, is that in each shoulder, there is a pocket for a hand warmer. That way those muscles stay warm as my dogs are resting. Now if I finish my dog, well, sometimes I'll finish my dog care before that hot water's ready. Sometimes I won't. And guys, if I don't, all good. I'll work on it after they've had their meal. But I do want to use this hot water right away. I'll just remove that pot of hot water, bring it over my cooler, and dump all of that in there. My cooler, it's right here. It makes up my seat on the sled. The reason I want to utilize that hot water right away is because it's used to unthaw the meat I feed out to my dogs in their meal, which will typically include beef, chicken, or fish. I might supplement some beef fat or chicken fat in there as well. But as it's in that hot water unthawing, it'll make a nice soup for my dogs to eat and drink. To complete their meal, I'll add in a dry kibble that's made for our racing sled dogs. It's high in fats and protein. When that's all mixed together and it's all good to go though, I'll grab the cooler, grab bolts of my sled, and go on down and feed my team. Our dogs, as we race down the trail, they'll usually consume between 10 to 12,000 calories in a single day. Also during that day, they can average over 100 miles of travel. So if we did that conversion, it would be the equivalent to you and I eating 30,000 calories in a day. Which from I've heard though is pretty similar to your cruise ship experience. Very jealous, that sounds fun. But with my team, they've had their dog, they've had their meal, I'll get them ready for some rest. They already have that bale of straw. In my sled basket though, I also have with me their dog coats. Let me put it back together real quick. There we go. That's an important piece. Oh, the other side fell off. Oh goodness. There we go. So these are the dog coats, you guys. The dogs, they can't run these as well. These coats, they are both insulated and windproof. And that piece I had to adjust right there, you can probably guess based on anatomy, that is to protect our boy dogs in that region. And the reason they come off like that is for a good reason. Boy dogs, if you don't know about this, by the way, you're going to see here in a little bit. But boy dogs, they have to own the world out there. They'll pee on anything and everything on the trail. And we try to average around 9 or 10 miles an hour for our speed. And guys, if one of our dogs has to go, they go and they go. We slow down, but we just keep moving. Because think about it, 14 dogs, 1,000 miles. If you stopped for every single restaurant, it would take you a little bit. So our boy dogs, they just go down the trail. They pick up one leg and keep going along. And then the accordion effect happens. But where I'm going with this is these will get peed on. And then after a while, we'll see little pea-sickles dangling off the bottom of them. And that's where they come off, and I have to fix it. So, right, you guys are all hired in this section. I know, that's why I stick to mushing dogs and not a comedy career. But yeah, guys, in our rest stop, after these are on my team, I do have one more thing, and that is their dog blankets. So I'll take these out and get the team all nice and tucked in for their rest. Rule number 1 being a musher, that you always take care of your dog team first, then yourself second. So when my dogs are resting, I'll grab some food for myself. All of my meals, I pre-make them before the race even starts. I'll put them through a vacuum sealer because my meals, they're also frozen. And I'll just pop it in that hot water to unthaw. When I've had a meal though, I'm also ready for a nap. To take one, I just use my sleeping pad and sleeping bag, and I'll go cuddle up right next to my team. On the trail as we race though, a musher, we try to shoot for about a 50-50 run to rest schedule. So if we just did a 6-hour run, I'll give my dogs a 6-hour break. During that time, the dogs, they'll sleep for about 5 to 5.5 hours. Myself though, I'll get 1, maybe 2 hours if I'm efficient. But the reason for that is race rules state that only one musher can take care of a dog team. There is no outside help allowed. This rule is also important and applies to rookies qualifying races. Iditarod, they want to make sure rookie musher that we can handle short mid distances before we go off and do 1,000 miles. So to qualify for Iditarod, you need 3 races. Myself, that included a 150, a 300, and 440 mile race. But in all those, Iditarod included next year, the only time that I see Emma Rose, my handler, is the start and the finish line. In between them, we've had that rest. I'll wake up, make sure my sled's patch resupply for the next leg of the race. I'll get my dog's booties put back on, but then we are set to keep heading down the trail. In the Iditarod, teams will get from start to finish by following these trail markers. If you're that first team to follow these to know and win the race, you do have a pretty nice prize package waiting for you. You'll win $50,000 and a brand new Dodge pickup truck. Yeah. Now, it would be nice to win that truck one day. It won't happen next year. But instead of sorry guys, my mouth is stuck. Instead of having a nice new truck to celebrate with, I'll be enjoying a nice cold brew from the Klondike Brewing Company. You guys can enjoy one too. They are here in town over on 2nd Street. Well, I just dropped $4 grand on Manchu fee, so you gotta keep your sponsors happy. But yeah, guys, my goal this year, with it being my first time, it'll be most of my dog's first time down the trail as well. So the goal this year is just about to get the experience, learn a lot, and just have fun. You know, when we get to know that happy, healthy team, that'll be a win in my book. That's all I want to accomplish next year. And I usually get, a question, well, Kaci, just go up there and go for the win right away. You can do it. No, I'm not a very competitive person by nature, and it'll take me a couple years too to actually know how to train and race for a competitive Iditarod team, because I'm still fairly new at this. Well, I am new at the Iditarod. It's my first one coming up, so I've got a lot of learning to do. And then a couple years, then we'll get into it, see what we can do with these guys. To help me get ready for Iditarod, though, I do have one of my mentors here today. He's a 7-time Iditarod finisher, and that's Matt Hayashida. Matt, he'll be the one to tell us all about our dogs here as well. Before we head over there, just some safety things for you guys real quick. Our dogs, they will be in their kennel to start off with. It just keeps them calmer that way. When we all have a spot, we'll let the dogs out. And please feel free to pet them. All these guys, they love the attention. They're all super friendly. There's a railing over there, probably about yay high on me. It's okay to reach up and over that to pet our dogs that way. Some will jump on it, some won't though. One thing we ask, if you guys have any food, please keep that tucked away. No unwanted treats for our dogs. And that would also include stuffed animals. Well, I do have a dog here who, if he sees a stuffed animal, he will hop over the railing and then grab that toy, and then we won't find it until tomorrow morning doing chores. So we'll avoid that process right there. So should be good though. I think that was the last part. We can just head over here and we'll go meet Matt and my team.
Hey, puppies!
Oh, yeah.
Strange people.
All right, dogs, attack.
There you go. He's
So
attacking.
welcome everybody. So folks, my name is Matt, and yeah, I'm just going to talk about all the dogs right here. I'm going to roll through a little spiel. So folks, pay attention because I'm probably going to answer most of your questions as we go along. And meanwhile, Kaci and Emma Rose are going to walk a few dogs around on a leash. Okay, that way everybody that wants to get some pet a dog. Okay, now, first of all, a little bit about me. I've run the Iditarod 7 times in my life. The first time was in 1998, and the last time that I raced was in 2011. And, you know, we were a competitive team. I've never won the Iditarod, but we did get into the money several times. And the reason why I haven't raced since 2011, I got 2 daughters that are 12 and 14, so years ago I decided instead of freezing my butt off in March, I decided to be a girls' basketball coach. So I would like to race again, but that'll be in the future at some point. Meanwhile, all of these dogs that you see before you, a lot of them go back to my old bloodlines, and this is Kaci's team. This is the real deal. These are all Alaskan Huskies, which is not a recognized breed by any kennel club. So you're not, the AKC doesn't recognize them. It's a fancy name for a mutt that pulls. A lot of folks come here expecting to see a purebred Siberian Husky. And maybe you saw it in a brochure, you saw it for the marketing for this tour. I wish that they wouldn't do that because you will not see a Siberian Husky racing in the Iditarod. If you do, they're going to come in dead last place. The Alaskan Husky is like the working version of the Siberian Husky. Think of the Siberian Husky as the Hollywood actor. Here we got the stuntmen. Now, as far as like, you know, with these dogs, like how big they are or how lean, I would say you never see a sumo wrestler winning any marathon. And there are a lot of breeds that have been bred into the Husky over the years. Since we don't have to adhere to any strict breed standard, what mushers were doing many years ago, they were taking border collie, German Shepherd, German short-haired pointer, Irish setter, Bull Retriever, Lab, Saluki, Greyhound, and Chihuahua are all mixed. So I was just checking to see if y'all are paying attention. Yeah, there's no Chihuahua. Although it is my dream to one day hook up 100 Chihuahuas to a sled. Now, as far as the age of these dogs, a good sled dog will be competitive from 2.5 years old all the way up to 10 years old. It's a very long career. And in case you're wondering, we start training in 6 months, but they won't race for a couple of years. Now, it is not uncommon for one of these athletes to finish the Iditarod 5, 6, or 7 times during their career. Think of the exact opposite of greyhound racing because it's not a marathon. A lot of it's up here. The dogs learn how to pace themselves. The dogs rest better out there. The older dogs, like humans, they're just more efficient. I guarantee a 50-year-old carpenter can build a house faster than a 20-year-old carpenter. So age, experience, and efficiency, it all matters with an 1,100 mile event. And when the dogs retire, when we have dogs that are like 11, 12, 13 years old, we keep our retired dogs. They're family members. And they also become teachers too. That's how we train the pups coming up. Okay, we'll take a 6-month-old, run them next to a 12-year-old, and that's how they learn. And when we train the young lead dogs, we teach our dogs voice commands for steering. They're universal, same as mules and draft horses. G, to the right, honk, to the left. I grew up on a farm. Yeah, G and honk. Notice that those words, by the way, are phonetically opposite. Therefore, the animal can distinguish between the two. It's a little bit easier. But anyway, that's why we don't have any dogs here named Gene or Hawk. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's a great app. The way it works, if we're training a young dog, I say G. We hook up that young pup by the collar to the older dog, and that older dog, boy, they just push and pull that young pup around, and then eventually they learn through association. Now, speaking of lead dogs, that's a common question. Which one is the lead dog? You know, most of these dogs are capable of running in lead. And what we do, folks, is when we're running like the Iditarod, pretty much the majority of the team will at least get to run and lead one time throughout the race, because they all have different personalities and they all bring different strengths to the table. Like some lead dogs are okay, are really good on a hardback trail. Some lead dogs, they're only going to run and lead, or they're better than others on a soft, punchy trail. Okay, some lead dogs are really good in the wind, so we switch them around. I once had one lead dog. He was really good at the voice commands. G, haul. He knew little G, little haul. I could drive him like a car. He had one flaw, though. You know what it was? He was totally afraid of water. The dog wouldn't even go through a puddle.
Oh, no.
And true story, I'm not making this up. You know what that dog's name was? Nemo. Dog watching, folks, it's all about management, where the dogs run, and who they run next to. It's all very important when we're hooking up our team. Hey, speaking of which, you notice that we got 5 dogs in a harness right now? Kaci's gonna run, do our demonstration run right now. But before we do that, I do want to say this one thing. It's going to get loud in here, by the way. But I do want to say one thing. Now you start the Iditarod with 14 dogs. You know, not all the dogs start the Iditarod. Not all of them are going to fit. This is what got me hooked on the sport, you know, 26 years ago when I first saw it. So, they get excited. You'll see a switch get flipped. My mom's Cocker Spaniel would get excited to go on a walk too, though. Every time you grab a leash, that little Cocker Spaniel wanted to go on a walk. Here, we have a fancy leash, and sometimes our walks are like 1,100 miles long. But yeah, the voices of discontent.
You want to video this?
How do I know what I'm videoing?
This is what the dogs have been bred to do for thousands of years. Folks, we got 5 dogs here. Imagine 14 of these things hooked up to a sled. And that enthusiasm and drive, it increases with each dog that you add to the team. Now, look at how short we're running the dogs. So we do these tours all day long, from 7 a.m. all day, so the dogs get out often, right? But we got to limit them to short little bursts like this because of the temperature, mostly. Ideally, we'd be at 10 below, asking them to pull the sled over snow. Last year in Skagway, got up to 86 degrees. Now we still utilize this as for conditioning of the dogs. We're not interested at all in the aerobic aspect, however, of the conditioning during this off season. We added sand to the trail to increase resistance. Basically, all of these athletes all summer long, they're lifting weights, they're building valuable muscle, plus their feet are getting in condition. They're very tough right now, running on the surface. That benefits them going into the fall training season. So let me introduce you to the dogs. The 2 lead dogs, we've actually got brother and sister. The red one, hugging Kaci right now, her name is Saga. She's 2 years old. This will be her first Iditarod. Next to her is her brother, Epic. And then we have Lombardi is the dog in the middle of the team closest to us. He's 3 years old. He just finished his first Iditarod last March. He came in 20th place with Kaci's mentor, Matthew Baylor. And then we got Gale Force next to him. And then the dog in the very back, that's Apollo. Apollo's 8 years old. He's never run the Iditarod, and I think you all can see why we have to run Apollo by himself. French fries short of a Happy Meal. Everybody's like, well, hey, why don't you try running Apollo and lead? He's very enthusiastic. Yeah, you know, we tried that once. Folks, that dog in lead is an unguided missile. He actually did really good coming out of here, but then when he got to right over here, I think he decided to lead the whole team down towards the river. You all have heard of that term, try this at home, kids. Kaci's been running dogs ever since she was a little girl. Not too many people can do this. It's actually very difficult and extremely dangerous to run the sled on gravel like that. But she makes it look real easy, folks. Let's give them all a round of applause when they come in. There we go. Now, the front 4 dogs are going to be on Kaci's Iditarod team in March, okay? Apollo runs tours in the wintertime. And look at how short we just went. And the reason why Apollo is not a good racing dog, doesn't it look like he just ran 25 miles? All right. So we're going to get them all back into their pens where they can cool off and get some water. And then the next thing that we're going to do, folks, is we're going to bring out some puppies for you all to hold. So, okay, so only 6 weeks old, which means they're at optimum cuteness. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present to you the puppies.
Oh my God.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming out. Okay, so folks, we're gonna hand out the puppies here, but a couple of things before we hand them out. Okay, so before we hand them out, oh. If I was single, wouldn't you want to swipe right now? Please don't set the puppies down on the ground and let them run around, okay? And then also, don't set the puppies in your bags.
Yeah.
At your own risk, they poop and pee whenever they want, okay? And also, hey, real quick, while I've got everybody's attention, over here we got the booties for sale. They're only available down here, $5 if you want a cheap souvenir, and all that money goes to help fund Kaci and the dogs this winter. So, and they're only available here. And then the other thing, folks, you gotta share. Do not hog the dog. Okay, so hold the puppy, pet him, take a picture, pass along. If another puppy
Excuse me,
comes
can I slide by you real
right,
quick?
great. Like there's plenty of time. But I want to make sure that everybody that at least gets to hold one of the pups. So this is interesting. I figured it out. The first, so we kind of have to split up the groups here because the next thing that you're doing is the 40 below. But at 11, or you know, the first one is everybody off the radians. Well, there's one group of yellow bracelets too. Yeah, so if you're off the radians, so if you have a yellow bracelet, you're on the radians of the C's, and if you have an orange bracelet, you're off the radians. We're gonna.
No, yellow is.
I know. Let me get to it, folks.
Sorry.
Okay, we're gonna hand out the pups to everybody that came off the radians first. If you're off of the golden or the joy, you actually have more time here, but we're gonna ask you just to step back for a minute. Everybody will get equal time holding the puppies. Okay, but there are a lot of you. Okay, I shouldn't have done that way. I can see people are upset, but okay. So if you're on the golden or the joy, just hang back for a few minutes. I promise there will be plenty of time for the pups. I thought it would be easier. But if you're on the radiance of the seas, okay, we're just gonna hand. You guys got to get going first, so we're gonna hand out the pups to them first. Okay, so raise your hand if you're with Goldie blocks, or if you have a yellow bracelet, you're on the radiance. Okay, all right. I'm gonna come all the way down here. We're gonna evenly distribute them. And again, if you're with the golden or the joy, I promise you will have plenty of pups. Just be plenty of time with the pups. Just be patient. Okay, there we go. And once these folks are out of here, then we'll have plenty of time.
Aww. My God, those are so
And we'll be available
adorable.
for questions too. We got some more pups coming. And honestly, I want you all to know that like doing this right now, it's socializing. Yeah, I mean the benefits to this are really, it goes a long way. You know, the old school philosophy was keep the pups wild, don't pet them, they're only for work. And then Susan Butcher won the Iditarod 4 out of 5 times. People paid attention to what, you know, she was doing. Yeah.
Who needs a puppy?
No.
You need a puppy?
Oh, yes, I need a puppy. Come here, puppy. No. Oh my gosh. Nice milk.
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah. Like,
Oh, you are so precious.
but I think, yeah.
Baby,
I'm not
take a
sure
picture
that.
of him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So like you, once you go to the website, you can like you can contact Kaci. Yeah. The curriculum.
Yeah. Where did that little husky looking one go? Oh, he's right there. Oh, he is cute.
Staying away from your phone.
Oh, that one's a cutie.